I moved my eyes up higher, into the trees, and that awful feeling came back. Fear, dread, terror. I felt like I was being pushed down. My legs gave way, and I actually fell. The victim saw me and asked if I was okay. I said I was fine, and I sped walked back to my car. But I wasn't fine. Something in those trees had just looked at me, and I absolutely knew that I wasn't supposed to look back. I'm Alvin, and this is Common Ground Horror. This just happened a few hours ago, and it's making me feel really weird and scared, so I'll get right to it. I'm a police officer in a very rural area in northern Canada. The population is around 2,000 people, plus 5 or 6 reserves and settlements nearby. It's isolated, remote, the kind of place where the forest goes on for hundreds of miles, and help is hours away. Very early this morning, we responded to a call, a guy threatening to kill a victim, over stupid stuff, a dispute, an argument, nothing worth killing someone over. But that's how these things go sometimes. So we attended. The call was in one of those settlements. Very, very forested. Pitch black all around. Muddy roads. No streetlights. Just our headlights cutting through the darkness. We arrived and found the place. Talked to the victim, and made a plan. 2 of us would stay back for security. The others would go locate and arrest the guy. I ended up staying back with my partner. He positioned himself out by the road, a good 100 yards or more away from the house. I could see his lights. He could see mine. Radio reception was bad, but that's how it is up there. You work with what you've got. I did my usual police stuff, spoke to the victim and their family inside the house, got information, details, everything we needed. Standard procedure, nothing unusual. But then I walked out of the house, and I got this awful feeling. What I can only describe as dread. It washed over me like a wave. Heavy, oppressive, and suddenly I felt like I was being watched by someone or something in the woods. I got back to my truck, hopped in, locked the door, which I don't usually do when I'm just sitting in my vehicle on a call. But I locked it, and I started playing with the lights. Top light, front lights, side lights, all the different spotlights we have on the vehicle. I turned the front one on. It lit up the dark tree area. No problem. No issue. Just trees. Shadows. Normal. I turned my eyes to the left, and I turned on my left side alley light. That's the light that illuminates the side of the vehicle for checking alleys or dark areas beside the car. And the second I turned it on, I got the worst feeling I've ever felt in my life. I didn't see anything at all. Just dark spots behind trees. Shadows. Normal. But I felt like I was looking at something I shouldn't be looking at. Like I'd crossed the boundary. Like I was seeing something that didn't want to be seen. My eyes started feeling strange, like they were vibrating. I don't know how else to describe it. A buzzing sensation. And then I started getting dizzy, like the world was tilting. I felt pure terror in that moment. Not just fear, terror. The kind that grips your chest and makes it hard to breathe. The feeling, the pressure, it was overwhelming. So I quickly looked away, and as soon as I did, my eyes went back to normal. The vibrating stopped. The dizziness stopped. I looked around. I looked all around. Everywhere except where I had just looked. And it was fine. Normal. But as soon as I looked back that way, the feeling came back. Like something was telling me to stop. No, not telling me, forcing me. I looked back a couple of times, trying to figure out if I'd somehow just turned my head weird. If maybe I was straining my eyes or something. But no. It was all happening when I looked in that specific area. Only there. Nowhere else. Something in that patch of forest did not want me looking at it. And it was making damn sure I knew it. I drove my truck down to where my partner was. He was positioned at the only entrance to the house. I pulled up beside him, car to car, and we sat and talked. About the call, about the plan, normal stuff. I didn't tell him what I'd just experienced. I don't think he would have believed me. Hell, I barely believed it myself. But I knew what I'd felt. His car was kind of beside that tree line. The same one. And while we were talking, I got the urge to look up. At the trees. I don't know why. It wasn't a conscious decision, just an urge. So I looked. And that awful feeling came back, immediately. The dread, the pressure, the sense of something watching. So I looked away, fast, and I kept my eyes forward, on my partner, on the road, anywhere but those trees. After a few minutes, I drove back to the house, deliberately not looking at the forest where I'd felt that feeling. I kept my eyes on the road, on the house, on anything else. I went back inside, talked to the victim about additional information we needed, standard follow-up questions. Then I started walking back to my truck. And I heard a noise. To my left. A different part of the forest, closer to the house this time. I stopped, turned my flashlight on, pointed it at the ground level. Nothing was there. No animal, no person, nothing. Then I moved my eyes up, higher, into the trees. And that awful feeling came back. But this time, it was worse. So much worse. I was filled with fear, with dread, and I felt like something was pushing me down, or my legs were just giving way. I don't know which, but I actually fell, stumbled backward, and went down on one knee. The victim saw me through the window, came to the door, and asked if I was okay. I said I was fine, just slipped on the mud. But I wasn't fine. I sped walked back to my car, got in, locked the door again, and sat there trying to calm down. My heart was pounding. My hands were shaking. Whatever was in those trees had just made itself very clear. It didn't want me looking at it. and it had the power to make me stop. We got the all clear over the radio. The other officers had located and arrested the guy. We were done here. Time to leave. I started my truck, put it in gear, and began driving down the freeway. And the entire way, I felt it. A death stare. That's the only way I can describe it. Like something was watching me leave, and it was angry. Like I'd pissed it off. By looking at it, by being there, by existing in that space. I kept my eyes straight ahead, on the road, on my headlights. I didn't look at the trees. Not once. But I felt it the whole time. That stare. Burning into the side of my head, following me as I drove past that patch of forest. When I finally got back to the main road, the feeling lifted, like I'd crossed back over some invisible line, and I was safe again, or at least, safer. I have absolutely no idea what that was, what was going on, or what I experienced. But I know what it wasn't. It wasn't me being tired. It wasn't me being exhausted. It wasn't me being sick or stressed. I was fully awake, fully aware, not super stressed or anything. This was a routine call, until it wasn't. I've been a police officer for years. I've been in dangerous situations. I've dealt with violent people. I've been in dark, isolated places before. And I've never felt anything like that. Not even close. This was different. This was something else entirely. I keep thinking about it, about that feeling when I looked at the trees, the vibrating in my eyes, the dizziness, the terror, the sense of being forced to look away, like something had the power to control what I could and couldn't see. And I keep thinking about the fact that it was in the trees, not on the ground, in the trees. Whatever it was up there, watching from above. Which is why I didn't see anything when I looked at ground level. Because it wasn't on the ground. It was higher. Waiting. Watching. I grew up hearing stories about the northern wilderness, about things that live in the deep forest. Things that the indigenous people have known about for thousands of years. Things that don't like to be seen. Things that protect the land, or guard it, or claim it. I never paid much attention to those stories. I thought they were just folklore, legends, things people tell around campfires to scare each other. But now, I'm not so sure. Because something was in those trees tonight. Something that didn't want me looking at it. Something that had the power to make me physically ill when I tried. Something that watched me the entire time I was there and made damn sure I knew it. I've been dreading it ever since I got home. I can't get it off my mind. Every time I close my eyes, I see those trees, and I feel that pressure, that sense of something staring back at me, angry that I looked, angry that I was there. I don't know if I'll ever go back to that settlement. I don't know if I want to. Part of me thinks I should talk to some of the elders, the people who've lived on that land their whole lives. Maybe they know what's out there. Maybe they have a name for it. Maybe they can tell me what I'm not supposed to look at and why. But another part of me thinks some things are better left unknown, that some boundaries are there for a reason. And when something makes it very clear that you're not supposed to look at it, maybe you should listen. If anyone has experienced something like this, please tell me. If you know what this could have been, I need to know. Because I'm a police officer. I'm trained to observe, to investigate, to look at things. But tonight, something in the northern wilderness made it very clear. There are some things you're not meant to see. And if you try, it'll make you stop. If you've lived through a nightmare you can't explain, I want to hear it. Send your stories to commongroundhorror@gmail.com to be featured on the channel. This has been Alvin for Common Ground Horror. Until next time, sleep well, if you can.